My brother is a pretty smart dude. We've done a lot together. Um, Built several cars together, built a lot of engines together. He had a good point the other day. Unless I want to take out a home equity loan, it'd be stupidly expensive to build this tip over rig out of 2x4s and plywood. Um, so I'm thinking we're going to make it out of inch and a quarter EMT, um, which is pretty cheap even from Home Depot compared to lumber. So look for that upcoming, how we're going to make it. If anybody has a conduit bender, that would be awesome. He's trying to find one over in Little Rock at the pawn shops. So we can make a tip over rig and roll this thing up on the side, do a lot of work without having to lay down on the ground, and weld. He's a welder, so I can patch holes and booger weld stuff up, but especially like for the roll cage and modifying it, I'll have to get him to come over for a couple of weekends and help do that, get this car solid. Not sure yet what on the rear end. I don't want to cut the car all up. It would probably be easier. It would probably be better to, just get a rear frame clip, from S&W or Jags and put in ladder bars or 4-link, but probably just going to move the leafs inboard of the frame rails, thin the frame rails behind the axle center line. They start to flare back out, and I know from looking online, it's pretty easy to do a mini tub and get a 275 tire in here. I would like to maybe be able to get a 295 tire. Just not sure how much room is back there, and really not going to make that decision to get into the car. I don't think there's much rust back there. Like you can see, the floors are rusted out. I don't think the back is too much rusted. There's a hole about the size of a silver dollar on the driver's side and the trunk floor, which is not the end of the world. I'm guessing that must be the corner where water is collecting in the channel around the trunk and then drip down into the trunk floor, because there's a hole in the weather stripping channel, so they seem to line up. So I think I'll probably go with split monoleafs and Caltrax, decent shocks, a roll bar on the back, at least some 275s, maybe even better 295s. 4L80, probably like 325, 350 gear. Because I'm thinking with pump gas, probably 500, 550 horse, E85, maybe 775 or 7,500. Yes, that's great. 750 horse. Who knows? Maybe more. May have to eventually splurge and get a better turbo exhaust to get more than that, but just want a reliable, 10-second, maybe in the 9s car. Take it to drag week 1 year, maybe Rocky Mountain Race Week. Get my brother out there, have a good time again like we used to do in Bowling Green at Beach Bend with the Buick Nationals. What else? So up here, made the front cowl support removable. Made these plates. I don't like seeing the big gap up here when you do that. So I made these plates. They're welded to the removable piece. There's nut certs down here for this, and at the top there's a 12 gauge plate backing it with nuts welded on the back. And again, don't mind the hardware. That's what I had laying around. I just have to go back and grind this plate off so it looks good and it's flush, and the one on the other side is actually a little bit worse. But just to me, it's just as rigid as it was. Not too worried about the hood latch. Probably will get a fiberglass hood. If not, they still run arrow catch hood pins. They're a lot better than your regular hood pins. You don't have anything to lose. You know instantly by looking at them if they're locked or not. I did have them on the Fox body. They're pretty cool. They're not super expensive. But that way I know that the hood, whether it's the steel hood or fiberglass hood, is going to stay latched. We get rid of the strut rod braces, and I just noticed the other day this front cross member can see right down there. A little more worse for the wear than I thought, so I'm probably going to cut that out and either like some 2x2 or 2x3 tubing, or maybe just a round tube up there at the front, and then make some saddles for the radiator mount. We'll start getting everything back together, then I'll have to figure out how much room I have for transmission cooler and intercooler, and start putting things back together. I think the engine just does clear the, I guess what we call the protrusion for the heater box. I thought about cutting all that out, but again, it's just more work. Trying to get that back in there and make that bend from where the firewall's in to out just seems like a lot more work than it's worth. So the head on the passenger side clears that by about 1/2 inch. So I think what we'll do is, when it's time to work on the floor and mock up the engine and bell housing, I know I'm going to have to come in here and cut the bell housing opening. Look at it. Cut the bell housing opening out. Probably make access inside the car to get to the top bell housing mounts, bell housing bolts, and decide then what to do. If I have to cut a lot of the firewall out, then I will take that side over there out, but just trying to, I really want to get done with this car sooner than later on a budget. I got a kid in college, and that's taking most of my extra money. So right now, most of the things I'm doing have been funded by selling off the 2.3 4-cylinder parts, which is kind of amazing. That bought that engine, the 4L80, the roll cage, already bought head gaskets, another set of head bolts, the LS3 exhaust manifolds, and I think now I just finally have spent what I got for the Beauport head and a couple other things I've already sold. I still have several, I'll say several, I still have boxes of 2.3 performance parts, a set of stock bore pistons, and a set of Crowell rods I need to list up. I'm pretty sure those sell pretty quick because they've been discontinued, so I could probably get most of my money back off on them and get into another round of spending on this. So that is the update for today. We'll see what we get into today, what I feel like doing, and we'll get this posted up hopefully tonight and have some new content on the channel, and maybe get more than, I think I've got six subscribers. Maybe in a year I'll have 65 subscribers. If anybody likes this stuff, leave me a message, make some comments. Don't be stupid, don't be ugly.